How about we go back to the Eastern Conference where the Washington Wizards
Mm-hmm.
beat the Boston Celtics. Point guard Isaiah Thomas was asked about the Wizards' effort to post him up on defense in Game 4. Let's listen to what IT had to say.
As long as I hold my ground, and if you shoot over me, just get shot. I mean, it's a low percentage shot, so I'm just gonna keep fighting. If they're gonna allow them to be aggressive on me and physical on me, they should allow me to do the same thing back. And I felt like today I wanted to be physical on the defensive end, and then I was called for some cheap ones. But there's no excuse. You got to just figure it out.
What was this, like 1989?
Yeah, it seems like he was going throwback on that one.
Yeah.
Pump the brakes, Dave. Will the Celtics lose this series because of IT being a short guy and they're taking advantage of him on defense?
You and I talked about it as the game was going on. Bradley Beal was the #1 guy. John Wall did it as well. They isolated and found where Isaiah was. And look, let's be honest. As great a scorer as IT is, he is a huge liability defensively. And when I just saw that stat, the plus-minus for Isaiah Thomas in this game, -30 is staggering. There they even tried to help without Horford. And what did he do? Just spin away from Horford and shoot over IT. And there's nothing Isaiah Thomas can do. He can talk about being physical all he wants.
Right.
That's not going to change the fact that those guys are just 5-6 inches taller and you and I can go out there and D up all we want. But if we're D'ing up Tim Doyle, at the end of the day, he can post us up. We can do all this and be as physical as we want.
I don't think he can score on me, though. Bad example, but I know what you mean.
He's going to shoot over the top of us.
Right, but I don't think
they're going to continue to shoot over the top of Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
And there's nothing he can do about it unless he grows 6 inches between Game 4 and Game 5.
Will that make them lose the series, though?
Because, it could.
Really?
He's -30
but
on the plus-minus.
Though,
you know what that says? The best player for you offensively can't play for you.
But he's been 5'9" all season, and they got the #1 seed in the East, and the Bulls tried to take advantage of the mismatch
and they
score
were
on Isaiah
until
Thomas.
Rondo got hurt. If Rondo doesn't get hurt, the season might not even be here.
True, but I think the Celtics have done a great job. They know how to hide Isaiah Thomas. You know, they know how to give.
He was exposed today.
He was, but if the Celtics lose this series, I just can't point to that specifically. That would be a factor that would play into it, but to say that's the reason the Celtics lost the series because Isaiah Thomas can't guard, I can't see that happening because they've been able to work around that all year.
They have up until this point. I think what we're finding out is house of guards right now in D.C. So you pick, again, who do you want? You want Bradley Beal going up against IT? Do you want John Wall? Either one of those guys, it's going to be mouse in the house right here. He's too small. He can't check me. So you can switch Isaiah all you want, but you're switching to two bigger guards, both of those guys that I just mentioned. Either one of them is going to go ISO right here. Yeah. I got Isaiah, and you're not going to be able to hide him. Switch all you want. But once you switch, we'll get it back to that guy, whoever that is.
And you can run pick and roll with anybody. We've seen him run pick and roll with Otto Porter. And Otto Porter, even bigger than Beal and Wall, and has taken advantage of Isaiah Thomas. And Porter, not really good in the post.
We're not talking about Markieff Morris and Marcin Gortat. We're not talking about the bigs of Washington dominating the bigs of Boston.
Yeah.
We're talking about the house of guards dominating the guards of Boston. Now, Avery Bradley's got to step up and play bigger, and he's done that in spots. And
Absolutely.
He might be their best two-way player that they have. So that's somebody they're going to have to rely on more. But Isaiah looks like such a liability defensively. For as good as he is offensively, I wonder if you have to think, Brad Stevens, about different ways to hide him. And sometimes the only way to hide him is not playing.
Wow, you can't do that. I mean, he's IT 4Q. They call the man king of the fourth.
Bring him
he
in
dropped
the fourth
53
quarter.
Early on in the series. We know that. I'm with you. I just feel like Boston has made it this far on the strength of IT. They have the old saying, dance with who brought you.
No doubt.
Isaiah Thomas got them there.
In the wins, he's been spectacular.
Right.
In the losses, he's been exposed.
Yeah, and today, though, it was a lot of turnovers. He had 6 turnovers in this game.
He cannot do that.
Yeah, you have to limit the turnovers. That was a huge part of the Wizards' 26-0 run.
I'm always looking and rooting for the little guy.
Right.
And I'm rooting for IT in this situation. But again, I don't think it's coincidental that they struggled and he struggled. Obviously, he has a lot of things going on emotionally on his plate. In the first 2 games against Chicago, when Rondo was dominating the backcourt play. Then when he goes out, all of a sudden Isaiah and the rest of the Celtics explode. Now he's going up against a better guard tandem in D.C., and it's showing on the court.
Certainly something to keep an eye on, IT, and how he plays